When the pandemic hit, we realized we didn't have a say in anything. So it was very important for lobbies to start to fight for the rights of the music communities.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cheers, Lindi.
Cheers. Thank you. Yes, me too, of this non-alcoholic beverage.
You started Lindi Delight Management, I think 5 years ago. It's electronic music. It's DJs and artists, right?
I started it in 2016, and we do 360-degree management for artist brands and showcase events. But also, like if you're an artist or a brand or a festival, we have so many different services, so we work with them on project-by-project basis as well.
And you also started Shesaid.so in Germany, is that right?
Yeah, I started Shesaid.so Berlin.
What is that about?
Shesaid.so is a global network of women and gender minorities in the music industry. The aim is to empower all of us. And it's not just focused on women and gender minorities, because we also know that we do need men to help move this agenda or move this all forward. So it's really a way to create opportunities, empower everyone, and doing it together, especially since it's such a massive goal and a very important goal right now to be diversifying our music industry. So Shesaid.so is able to help facilitate that a bit as well.
How important are like lobbies and initiatives nowadays, especially when it comes to like nightlife advocacy?
When it comes to lobbyists and nightlife advocacy, we've really seen how important this is. When COVID hit, when the pandemic hit, we really realized in Berlin specifically that we didn't really have many rights. We didn't have a voice in the parliament. I think that we've been such a independent kind of, on our own kind of industry that when the pandemic hit, we realized we didn't have a say in anything. So it was very important for lobbies to start to basically fight for the rights of the music community. So I absolutely think it's important, and I'm sure it's going to grow. I think that we're going to be starting, more and more.
Mm-hmm. So it's also because probably in Berlin, especially, I had the feeling that it's like many voices who didn't speak together, right? And so in the pandemic, especially, they just had to find a way of coming together, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is a really important time for the music industry where we started to rely on each other more. We started to share more. We realized that if we wanted to create any change, that it was important that we did it together. So, and I also see the benefits of this as well. All these relationships are being built, and all these relationships are being solidified and become stronger, and the collaboration comes from that as well. And what I also really love is that it's such a focus now and a priority now to start building and developing more of the local scenes again, and not having to rely so much on all the international talent to come in, that we're starting to develop our own scenes so we can be more sustainable in that way as well.
And how can nightlife advocacy help in that? What can you do? Like, what are the techniques there maybe?
Well, nightlife advocacy, you're the voice. You're the voice, and you are the group of people or person that is there to be speaking to the right people. So it's also important that you're able to access and tap in to the community, right? And not just the bigger companies and not just the more established or more commercial ones, that you're really finding the grassroots ones, the more independent ones as well, and being able to develop those relationships and find what they need and then help facilitate that with the right people in general.
So what do you think like other cities also globally can learn from Berlin and also from the nightlife advocacy that you're kind of pushing here?
Berlin in general has so much culture, and there's such a rich music scene that it's not really comparable with many other parts of the world. I think that Berlin is a prime example of how you can party responsibly for multiple days. I think Berlin is always a place that's setting the tone and finding ways to progress culturally, musically, etc. So I definitely think that we can use Berlin as a blueprint. And I definitely think that we can inspire other parts of the world and other communities and show them how we're doing things here. Of course, they adapt to their own communities and their own industries, but I definitely think that Berlin can be a prime example of how nightlife advocacy can work.
Cheers, Lindi. Thanks.